What's up, y'all? I've got some good news for you today. We have Hamza Amin in the house, and this man just landed a 75K fully remote role in just 36 days. He's here to tell us all about his experience in the SWORD program and how we got here today. So, welcome, Hamza.
Well, thank you, Jack. Thank you for having me. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
1000%, man. So, for all of us who don't know you, tell us kind of the before and after joining SWORD. What were you doing before, and why wasn't that really a good career path for you?
Yeah, so basically, I'm an immigrant student. I came to Canada for studies. I did my master's and I got into a greenhouse company. So my role there was as a quality control inspector and shipping. That was not really aligned with what I wanted to do. And somewhere down the line, I felt like this job would not enable me to get that financial independence. And it financial independence mattered a lot to me. So I was kind of introspecting and looking at what I can do, what different careers I could explore, and I kind of reflected on my father's past. He was also from a sales background. So I said, like, why not try sales? And tech sales was not initially like the last option I wanted to consider. I was like, trying to look for data analytics related jobs. But when I explored tech sales and saw like how people from different careers were making big waves in this field, I saw your testimonials. I read about your story. So I took some time. I did my due diligence, and yeah, finally, then I jumped the gun. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, tell us about the after now, just 36 days later. Tell us what life like is now.
I mean, yeah, I'm really excited. I've connected to some of your previous mentees. Just got some advices from them, like how they've been approaching this and how things have been going. I'm really excited, and I just have a couple of days left till I am officially getting into my orientation and onboarding.
Wow.
So yeah, very really excited. Just that.
Wow. So you being someone who's kind of a pretty big outsider to tech sales, right? Like you wanted to go data analytics, you were in a completely different career. A lot of this must have been new. What do you think? What did you think, I should say, was going to be the hardest part of transitioning into tech sales? And how did you think we handled that together in the program?
Yeah, for me too. Like for example, even when I was trying to apply for data analytics related jobs, even though having a master's degree in it, it did prove to be quite a bit of challenging because I did not have related experience. I just came after my bachelor's, so I assume the same case would be here as well. And have not having sales related experience or any such experience where I'm in a face to face situation dealing with clients or building relationships, that could prove to be a hindrance. But I mean, working with you in the SWORD program, it really helped me a lot. So what you helped me do was bring my skill sets, or whether it's people skills, talking to them, or building relationships. So I would say not having skills, exact related experience would not really be a big of an issue because there are many people with from diverse backgrounds. But if you can somehow bring your transferable skills and show that you're coachable, that's what the sales leaders really try to look for. And even my sales leader, he ultimately pointed this out, like the energy I brought and the passion I put into it, that just stood out from rest of the candidates. So then that was
Yeah.
the all your help. So definitely thanks a lot for that.
Yeah, yeah, I think there's a lot of people out there who worry like, "Well, I have 0 transferable skills to tech sales." Whatever job you're doing, you have transferable skills. And
Definitely.
2 is you're going to do the job to get the job. So even if you don't have the hard skills, you're going to be developing the hard skills by calling managers, calling recruiters, using sequences, all of the
Yes.
things.
Yes.
And so Hamza, I think what they saw in you is just a ton of potential of like this guy has all the internal ingredients. We just need to put him in a formal role and get him trained. He's going to go crush it. And that's exactly what you're going to do.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, yeah, the drive was always there, and if, for all the people watching too, I would say you may have the drive. You just need a bit of direction, and this is where your help proved to be very helpful.
Yeah.
So you gave the
Yeah.
direction. There was a program, followed through it. You just need to show up day in day out, keep doing the job. And the thing is, I was doing this. I was still pursuing my current role and applying for the jobs as well. So I worked through the night, come in the morning, just get a couple of hours of sleep, and then from 9 a.m. Eastern, I'm here. I'm hitting up the calls. I'm calling people, and I'm sending emails. It's just the drive, and you need to just keep following the sequences, and you'll be.
Yeah. Yeah. So just to be very clear, Hamza, you were working a full-time job. What was your schedule for that job?
My schedule was basically I used to work from 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. in the night to 4 a.m. in the mornings, and
Yep.
it's an hour away, so that's an hour commute both ways. So I used to
Mhm.
be back home by 5 a.m., try to get in bed by 6, and I know like from 9 p.m. Eastern the work day starts. So I just get 2 to 3 hours of sleep, hit people up, reach them out on LinkedIn, call them, email them, for just follow through the sequences. So
Wow.
it was tough at times, but definitely the drive was there because I wanted to get out of it. And if you
Yeah.
know, I
So
would say like if you know your why, how will not matter. You can always navigate the how, and that's where you help me navigating the how. So
so good.
yeah,
Well, you had a strong why, right? It was to change just the generational pattern of your family and your future and everything, all the opportunities ahead for you.
yeah,
And I want people to hear that out there. Here's Hamza. He's getting to work at 6 after an hour commute, and then that's at 6 p.m. Then he's getting home at 5 a.m., getting 3 hours of sleep, 4 hours of sleep, and then waking up and starting to do the job to get the job. So again, Hamza, I think you nailed it. The how will happen if you have a strong why. And if
yes.
your conviction to change your life is strong enough, it doesn't matter how much time you have in the day, you're gonna make it work.
Exactly. And I was
So
already landing interviews through the beginning. It kind of gave me the confidence, but I still kind of stuck through my job. So that I was kind of on a bit defensive side. So that if I firmly land the role and then I wanted to leave my current job. But you just start showing up for yourself and things will start changing soon enough.
100%. So there's a lot of other coaches out there. There's like boot camps, there's different things like course careers and tech sales, ascension, and higher levels and different coaches. Why did you pick Sword? Why did you decide to work with me?
I would say, Jack, I stumbled across Sword, luckily. What happened was after I graduated from my master's June 24, I immediately enrolled myself into a coaching program that was also related to tech sales in that field. So you could say the outcome was not what I was expecting. I didn't go as expected, but I did have you added on my LinkedIn. So I was kind of watching some of your testimonials and the way you were reaching out, sending personalized messages. So you were always in my mind, at the back of my mind. So I stuck to the previous program first, gave it my best. And eventually when I didn't get the result I was looking for, so then I made the mind shift that, okay, I need to enroll somewhere else. I need to look for a different coach. Even then, I would suggest for anybody looking for a course, always do your due diligence. So
Mhm.
do feedback and people who've done the similar program, see how they're responding, try to reach out to them and get their personalized, if you are looking for some more personal related answers, questions to answer. So definitely. And that's what ultimately sealed the deal for me to go through with you. And the
Mm.
coaching, the way you coach, the one-on-one coaching, it is actually one-on-one. Some places what happens is you get delegated to someone else. But whenever I had a question, I would just shoot you up, whether it's at the night or in the morning, and especially through my work schedule, I was shooting you up at random times. And you've
Mm.
always been like that big brother to me, and you were so happy to answer my questions. And sometimes I would get a bit impatient or anxious. You're like, don't worry, be patient, God is there, keep going at the center. This thing was really helpful to me. It meant a lot to me,
Yeah.
Jack. Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing to hear, man. I definitely view you as a brother as well. And if I'm wrong, correct me, but a lot of people they end up on the fence of joining Sword. They think they want to make a transition, but they're afraid, right? Maybe it's the investment that it's going to take, a financial investment, a time investment. Maybe it's the fear of failure. If I recall, you weren't in the best financial position, right, to make a jump like this. So, what would you tell someone who's on the fence, kind of like you were?
We have definitely. I didn't have a lot on savings, but the thing is, it comes back to the same old adage. If your why is clear, then navigating the how is wasn't difficult. And in my case too, I did all of my due diligence. I knew in my mind like I wanted to go with a different coach, and you seemed the best choice. But still, I went ahead. I did my due diligence. I saw the testimonials, and after all, I would say like always try to have God at the center. So if you are conflicted in between decisions, reach out to God. Hey, this is what I'm looking for. These are my options. You will feel peace at some of the other option. And that's what happened with me. I just kept God at the center of it and said, okay, I'm going to make this leap. I'm not in the best of financial situation. And it is a big financial investment as well as a time investment. But I would
Mhm.
say ultimately, if you know what you want to land, so this is just a small dip in the ocean. So yeah, it
Yeah.
would pay off
Yeah.
generationally.
I love what you're saying about peace. I mean, the Bible says Jesus is the Prince of Peace, and every big decision I've had to make in life, it's like, do I feel peace on this or not? And that's kind of one of the factors there for sure.
Definitely.
You mentioned, me being a coach to you, kind of like a big brother, right? Like available, encouraging you. What was your favorite part about my coaching style?
The best thing about you is sometimes what used to happen was I used to apply previously before came into the SWORD program. So if I don't land the job or if I don't even get a rejection, it used to kind of deflate me. You brought that belief in me that, you need to learn how to detach from outcomes. You just keep on doing the job, just keep showing up for yourself. Ultimately, things will fall into place. And the other thing was everything was grounded in belief and faith. So I'm a pretty religious guy, but definitely when things are not going the way you want and you are alone, you're not sharing it with anybody, so you're keeping things to yourself, you kind of get deflated, a bit demotivated. That's
Yeah.
where a coach and a big brother like you comes into play. You just bring that drive, and it's like you dig deep, down deep, and you try to recall that why, what was the why that you got yourself into.
Yeah.
So, and that's what ultimately helped it make a big difference compared to any other coaching program. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people underestimate how emotional this process can be because you get so close to the finish line sometimes and it's just the door didn't open.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating. It's like, man, this was the job I thought I was going to get. But what I've seen time and time again is usually God has something better, right? And so in your case, man, you ended at such a great company. And I know there was some things at the finish line where it was like, oh, is this going to work out? Is this
Yeah.
going to happen? There was some like, employment questions and stuff, but ultimately the door opened and it's almost that much more confirmation you're supposed to be here because even in the middle of the hardship, a way was still open for you.
And that's the thing. You never know where the door is going to open from. It's always from the most unexpected of places.
Yeah.
So, but you just need to believe in yourself. Keep showing up for yourself. That's the best
Yeah. I
advice.
mean, dude, the role that you ended up landing, I'm pretty sure they weren't even hiring out of Canada. Like it was supposed to be a US based role
Yes.
and you snuck right in there and made it work.
Yeah. The hiring manager loved the energy. Like I directly jumped the gun to the hiring manager. So that was I skipped the recruiting coordinator's interview. And then there were a
Yeah.
bunch of interviews. It went across for a couple of weeks, and still I was on the fence. Did I close it? Did I seal the deal or no? That's why you said, don't worry, keep God at the center. You just keep doing the job. Do not stop. Detach yourself from the outcome. And then this was unexpected. They suddenly
Yeah.
reached out. They were like, yeah, we want you on board, and we give us some of your recommendations, and we would like to talk to you, get to know you more more. But yeah,
Incredible. Incredible. Amazing. So I want to hear from you then outside of landing this amazing fully remote role, 75K, by the way, a phenomenal company, like very well established, growing really quickly. Outside of all of that and doing that in just 36 days, what are you most proud of accomplishing or what did you feel like you grew the most in during this process?
I would say that I'm not really an extroverted person. So when you have to pick up the phone, call the people, create those videos, introductory videos, I felt a bit weird in the beginning, recording myself on a camera. But after a while, I just got the hang of it. I didn't. You don't even need to like really think of a script. You just need to be true to yourself, why you're doing it. And that's the thing. In order to when you're selling yourself to a manager or a recruiter, they want to see the human aspect of you as well, because they're humans ultimately as well. You can bring all of the technical aspect, you can show what you have done, your past accomplishment. And this is something that I could connect to them on a human level. And that's what helped me in my case, even though I
Yeah.
didn't have any sales related experience. So that would be one aspect. Second would be always showing up for yourself, no matter what, like how difficult the situation is. You just push through day after day. No, you need to take one step at a time. Don't focus on the finish. You will get there eventually. So this is
Yeah.
something that, yeah, and being grounded in belief and faith, definitely these three things.
Yeah, man, those are all really good. So thank you for sharing that. And I guess my last question for you would be what's something specific you learned in the SWORD program that if other SDR job seekers knew about and they implemented, you think would actually help them out?
The biggest difference would be that in the SWORD program, you kind of do exactly doing the job to land the job. So ultimately, you will be cold calling people, you will be creating sequences, making videos, cold calling, and all of those things. So daily, you will have a set of tasks that you need to achieve by the end of the day. So that's exactly what you're doing in the SWORD program, because I didn't know what the tech sales. I just knew I wanted to get into tech sales, but I don't know how it works, what are the tools. I didn't know anything. And going through this program, that's what I learned. Like, what are the tools you need? How you reach out to people. Sometimes things, even you when you are in a good coaching program, still things don't go as you planned out initially. So you just need to keep showing up for yourself, keep doing the tasks, keep doing the sequences, and ultimately a door will open from the most unexpected places of all.
Yeah, I think that as much as I repeat exactly what you said, do the job to get the job, I still just see so many people just applying for jobs on LinkedIn or easy apply or here's my resume. you have to do the job to get the job. You got to cold call. You got to send emails. Got to get on LinkedIn. So I
Definitely.
fully agree with that, Hamza.
Definitely. Omni-channeling and outbounding people through different mediums. In today's day and age, like from my experience as well, after I graduated, did my master's, I was just throwing my resume everywhere I could see a job, wherever it had an analyst title in it. So, and that's the thing. I don't know. I threw my application for hundreds and hundreds of jobs and only landed 2 to 3 interviews. But here, you have a targeted approach. You know what you want to do. You just do the tasks and find the right people. You learn how to network to them, and this is something that stood out to my hiring manager as well. The effort I put into it, I outbounded him through different channels, omni-channeling and this multi-threading. Didn't stop. You have to be relentless. Even if you get a rejection, that's something you say as well. That even if you might get a rejection, but you still keep outbounding until it's a human person that's rejecting you, not the ATS. And in today's day and age, I mean, I know there's a lot of competition, but you need to stand out for yourself, definitely.
Nailed it. Nailed it. Well, man, from freaking quality control and shipping to tech sales in just 36 days, landing a US role, being in Canada, fully remote, 75K, like Hamza, I am so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. And you are just proof of my clients who show up and just work hard, be consistent. It works every single time. And
Yes.
so shout out to you for being an example in the program of hard work, of consistency. You are so deserving of this, and this is only the beginning for you, man. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, Jack. And your guidance and mentorship meant a lot to me. It was truly instrumental. Thank you so much. You
Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate you.